So, you're playing Pokkén Tournament DX and you want to play Paddle Hands, Cabbage Head. Alright, the sacrifice her life for yours Pokemon, everybody's favorite waifu, Gardevoir. But you don't know how to play such a character. Well, have no fear, because I will show you. This is going to be a guide for the technical character Gardevoir. So, first thing is that Gardevoir, I believe, in the base game, in the original game, Pokkén Tournament DX, Gardevoir was one of, I want to say, 3 technical characters. She was one of them. The other was Gengar, and then there was at the time this is the boss character of the game, Shadow Mewtwo. Okay, and then when Pokkén Tournament DX released, Darkrai, which was previously arcade only, was added to the roster, and I do believe that is all of the technical characters. Okay, the other thing I forgot to add was that among the zoners, you have Gardevoir, you have Braixen, you have Blastoise, you have Chandelure, and honestly, like, you could count Shadow Mewtwo as a zoner as well. Well, less so. I mean, he just has very good zoning tools, but among them, Braixen is what you would, I guess you would call your speed zoner. She's the fastest of them. Gardevoir would be your long range zoner. Chandelure, you could call Chandelure an anti-counter kind of zoning character, whereas all of her projectiles, or almost all of her projectiles, deny you the ability to counter them. So you have to either block them or evade them if you want to get to Chandelure. Okay. And Blastoise is what you'd call your heavy zoner. Okay, all the Blastoise's projectiles are going to do just big damage, you know. Let's see, and I think I can also say that Gardevoir would have been Gardevoir was the intended character that I picked up Pokkén to play. I picked up Pokkén expecting to play Gardevoir until I tried out Braixen, and I saw how quickly, I saw how fast she was. And after that, I kind of jumped ship over to Braixen, but I've always been able to play Gardevoir. It's just that I play Gardevoir a lot differently from what your usual fare would do. And for the stage, we can pick. Sorry about that. Let's see. For the stage, we will pick. I think we can go to the beach. All right, this stage we're going to is the only new stage that was added to Pokkén Tournament DX, by the way. So we're gonna go to the beach and we're gonna learn how to play. All right, so Gardevoir. I forgot to change my name again. Well, that doesn't matter. But for Gardevoir, you can call her. She is a long-range zoner. Okay, she is very good at crushing counters. She has also very good anti-air. Okay, in both phases, in field phase and in duel phase, and she's also good at getting rid of counter attacks or dealing with counter attacks in field phase and in duel phase. Her drawback is that she has very low mobility. And this low mobility that's kind of like her Achilles heel, is that if you're going to end up losing, it's probably because of her low movement speed. So just in both phases. Okay, she has a moon jump. Okay, she's got a moon jump. It has its good points. It has its bad points. I'll explain those actually right now. Okay. So yeah, her moon jump. If you jump, comparatively speaking. Okay. Let me time it. Okay. She shoots up into the air, but she has a very slow fall speed. If you press the R button when jumping, she has a double jump. Okay, she also covers a lot of distance in that jump. She can cross over and reach her opponent in a single, well, not a single bound, but within a jump and a double jump, she can easily reach her opponent. All right, but this will also hurt her because her jump has low mobility. If she's not, because her jump has such a low, I guess, horizontal mobility, she's not a fast jumper. Okay, which means that if she's in the corner, she might have a hard time getting out of it. Okay, and because of her slow fall speed, she has to use some kind of attack, or she has to try and delay her descent as much as possible in order to confirm her landing. All right, let's see, where should we start? We should start with her. Any peculiarities of her? She has no peculiarities. All right, no super duper unique things to her. She has a mechanic. Let's see, her mechanic is her Calm Mind mechanic. Her Calm Mind, which is this. This lets her get off some extra moves that I will talk about all later. And then the other one is Stored Power. Her Stored Power is her most extremely damaging move. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It is her highest, among her highest damaging moves. Okay, and good play with Gardevoir is probably going to be around good management of stored power. You know, using the right stored power for the right situation, because there are a bunch of different variations of stored power, and I will talk about all of that. But for now, I will talk about her Y attacks and how they, what they do in field phase. Her tap. Let's see. If you tap the Y button, she fires out a little ball forward. Okay. It gets rid of some projectiles. For example, I think it gets rid of Braixen's little fireball projectiles. It's got a decent travel speed. All right, that's what it looks like on hit. If you go to the side, she sets out 3 little low to the ground traveling, kind of like frisbee projectiles. Okay, this is what they look like. You can go from side to side. Note the recovery after she uses them. So this is me using them and then holding the shield button. She has to right herself back up, and then you'll be able to hold the shield. So if you do this all the time, your opponent's going to immediately know what you're up to, and they're going to punish you all day long. So it's not something that you want to throw out. What you'll see a lot of Gardevoirs do is they will spam the button. If you spam the button on by standing or by moving side to side, she does her forward weak attack. That's the charge version. But she does her forward weak attack, which is like a little bow attack that she does, because she fires like a little energy bow. Okay, this is her forward attack. Okay, her forward attack fires the bow, or it's like it simulates the firing of a bow. The short press version of it will cause a phase switch. The long press version of it will stun your opponent long enough for you to you can either do it twice, okay, and keep them in field phase, or if you want to and you land the hit, you can hit them with the long press and then go again with the short press and cause the phase switch. This is what you want to manage if you are dealing with characters that you do not want to deal with in dual phase. Characters that have a very good dual phase, like Machamp or Weavile, or any of the large characters that can put out large hitbox attacks that Gardevoir might not want to deal with in dual phase. You do not want to switch to field phase immediately like this. Okay, it's much better for you to hit them with the long press, hit them with the long press again, and continue to fight in field phase for as long as you possibly can. Okay, if you mash the button just by standing, she'll go into her little ball attack into the arrow. But you can also charge it and you'll get the stun. Well, it won't stun if you do it after the ball. Okay, but you'll get the more powerful version of it. Same thing if you go from side to side. If you go from side to side and fire the arrow, you'll get that. If you go to side and then hold the button, you'll get the stun version of it. You'll see a lot of Gardevoirs doing this. They'll strafe side to side and do this, and this leaves her open, because what your opponent's going to do is your opponent's going to block the frisbee, and then because they know that you're going to be stationary when you're firing that arrow, they're going to hit you with some kind of an air attack. Okay, so you got to watch yourself when you do that. Her weak attacks are another set of arrows that she fires. These are anti-airing attacks. They're very fast, and they cause phase switches. There's also charged versions of them. So if your opponent delays, themselves in air, or if they have an air dash or something, this will stop them. This also pierces counters. So if you have a character like Blastoise, and Blastoise jumps overhead, but I'll just switch to Blastoise. Now, if you have a character like Blastoise, that has a move that functions as an air counter, like this, Gardevoir will be able to shoot him out of the air, okay, with the charged version of her attack. So we'll let this one do his deal. Alright, that's the uncharged version of it. That was before he went into his little counter framing descent. I'll try to hit him when he does it. I charged it. 1 second. Alright, you see that? I fired it, but he was in counter frames and he absorbed the hit and he was able to land properly. If you charge it, nope. There we go. That's what I'm trying to show off. You get the counter pierce and it will knock your opponent out of the air and away from you. Okay, very good anti-airing ability. For her jumping weak attacks, she has a set. I guess it's a spread shot. A spread shot of 5 arrows. She can direct where she fires them. I believe, is it 2 directions or 3? So that's that. Okay, I think it's 2 directions. Okay, so if you jump and press the button, she'll fire them out far away. Okay, if you jump and hold the back button, when you fire it, she will fire much closer to the ground. She'll fire much closer to where she is in the event that they close the gap. So if they're far away, you can fire the normal version of it, and if they're a little bit closer to you, you can fire the closer version of it. Okay. Let's see. And I think that is everything for her weak attacks. Let me just double check. Yep. I'll talk about the air dash stuff later. For her strong attacks, she only has her pursuit attack. Okay. It is I think it's a 2 input, 2 hit attack. All right, that's what it looks like on hit. If you charge it, this is also what it looks like. I will show what it looks like on shield. That's the uncharged version, and this is the charged version of it. All right, that's a shield break. That's all that she's got for her grounded strong attacks in field. In duel, she has a drop kick. Okay, she has a drop kick. It's got a little bit more range than you think. If you look at how her dress spreads out, and you can see like a circular wind effect on her when she drops. That is the range of the drop kick. Okay. You can also, you can jump, use your double jump, and then go into your drop kick. All right. Let's see. Next is special attacks. Okay. The first thing I'll talk about is her charged special attack. I forget what this move is called. Give me 1 second. It's Moon Blast. All right. The charged, Scizor, you can stop blocking. All right, the charged version, her charged special attack, which is what you want to do. You want to press this. You want to hold down on the special attack button until she starts flashing like this. When you let it go, this is Moon Blast. Okay, it's got some counter frames at the, I wouldn't say at startup, not at the immediate startup. Okay, but it will. Right, like when Scizor starts getting hit, that's when it's active. So it's not active immediately on startup. So if she tries to do it immediately on startup, she'll get hit. All right, but it just fires a beam toward them. It does cause a phase switch, I believe. Yep, it does cause a phase switch. This also gets rid of gets rid of lesser projectiles. Okay, she can cancel this, so she can cancel it during her startup. So she can do that, and then hold the R button, and she will cancel it after her startup. Okay, so I think this means that she can put damage down and then cancel it if you needed to. Okay, if you second guessed and you needed to, you can cancel it that way. Her standing special attack is that Dazzling Gleam? Let's see. It's Psyshock. That's Psyshock, really? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I guess with the cubes, yeah, okay. I see it now. Okay, so this is Psyshock. This gets rid of this takes out a lot of projectiles actually. It causes a phase switch on hit. It's a high damage dealing attack. Okay, it will plaster on the wall if you hit somebody with it while they're close to the wall. That's pretty much all it is. I personally use it to get rid of, you know, just enemy projectiles. Like if I'm in neutral and my enemy is like likely to throw out a projectile, I can throw out a side shot and erase those projectiles and maybe hit my opponent. Okay, let's see. Then you have the, I don't think she does not have side projectiles in field. Her forward, I'll talk about stored power last. Cause I'll talk about the back one. How about I do the jumping one. The her jumping special attack is Magical Leaf. Okay, you can move around when doing this. You cannot charge this. Okay, she takes a second, she spins around. This makes her open, so if your opponent has some move that it can use to shoot her out of the air while she's doing it, she's gonna get shot out of the air. You can move around when using this move, so you can move to the, I believe you can move around to the left. Yep, you can move around to the left a little bit. See how she kind of drifts to the left. You can also move around to the right, and I think forward and backward as well. Nope, not forward and backward, but you can move to the left and to the right. All right. You can also go into her other aerial attacks after you finish using the move. Okay. In the event that you happen to miss with the Magical Leaf, you know, and you needed to throw out another attack, you could, you know, do that if you needed to. Her backwards, I'll talk about. Yeah, I gotta go into the Calm Mind moves because she's got other stuff for that. This is Calm Mind. Alright, she's totally open when she does this. Alright, if you just do the input like that, she's totally open. She's stacking charges. She can stack it 3 times. I have 2 charges right now. This is her after stacking 3 charges. You can keep doing it if you want, but all it's going to do is just keep it at 3 charges. Okay, these charges do not go away until you use stored power, so you don't have to worry about, you know, getting hit and losing a charge or something. It's like it's not going to happen until you use stored power. Okay, she has a variety of moves that she can use out of Calm Mind. The first one I will talk about is the weak attack follow-up. Okay, this is where I guess the technical character archetype comes in. Is that she can use Calm Mind, and if you press the Y button, she fires out Energy Ball. Okay, Energy Ball by itself is a slow-moving big green projectile. However, if your opponent fires out, let's see. How about, I got this. If your opponent fires out a projectile of their own, and the projectile of their own hits Energy Ball. Alright, 3 should be good. Whoop. Energy Ball will diffuse and is split into many very annoying, you know, hard tracking projectiles that will follow your opponent. And like these do very good damage. Okay, and like those little projectiles do very good damage. All right, and that happens for like any projectile, unless the projectile was so big that it got rid of Energy Ball, and then when Energy Ball diffused, it took out all of the little shots. The little shots are probably going to be freed up and you know, rush towards your opponent. Okay, let's see. There's also, if you use Energy Ball and then tap the weak attack button after sending it out, but not too long after. If you do it too long after, she won't diffuse it. You can manually diffuse it. Okay, if you manually diffuse it, it turns into, you know, hey, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turns into like a spread shot of like 6 little projectiles that's spread out. Okay, it has different properties in field and dual phase, so you'll be able to see what it looks like in dual. But in field, it spreads out. Okay, if you do the strong follow-up, Okay, the strong follow-up out of Calm Mind is, I believe this is Psychic. Okay, Psychic is like a really slow. It's got great tracking. Okay, it's got great tracking. It's a slow-moving projectile. It moves towards the opponent. When it gets within the vicinity of the opponent, it will detonate. Okay, it does not detonate until it reaches, or it does not go into its detonation sequence until it gets within that vicinity of your opponent. So if your opponent is moving around, let's see. I think you can actually break the tracking if you do that. So we're not trying to do that. But if your opponent is strafing you and you throw this out, then you'll be able to. Let's go back to input relay. There we go. It will track and follow your opponent until it's within a certain range of your opponent, and then it will go into its detonation sequence. This move is extreme. This move takes forever to put out. Okay, this is not something that you put out while your opponent is near you. This is not something that you put out while your opponent is like upright. Okay, this is something that you put out like if your opponent's been hit by something, or if your opponent is being knocked back by something, or if your opponent is in the middle of, like, if they were knocked down and they're getting up. Okay, that's when you want to push this out, because she's completely open during the portion of the time that she throws this move out. Okay, and you see me, I'm pushing it out, and then I'm holding the shield, and she doesn't hold that shield until long after she's finished tossing out the projectile. Okay, this is not something that you use when your opponent is in any kind of position to attack you. Like from this distance, I would not use Psychic. Okay, let's see. Next is we can do the other one. What's the other one called? Oh, it's Dazzling Gleam. Okay, really? Like, a lot of the moves that she has, they don't quite match what her moves look like in the mainline games, which is why I have to keep referring to the move list to see exactly what attack is what. But if you do Calm Mind and then press the special attack button, this is Dazzling Gleam. Dazzling Gleam is her command counter. It's got a really big radius on it. It will also protect her from above. If your opponent was like trying to jump over her, or trying to jump, trying to do a jump in attack, this will stop it. This is helpful if she's on the wall, provided your opponent is not in her face. If they're in her face, because keep in mind, she still has to go through the Calm Mind animation where she's open, and then she has to use, what is this? Dazzling Gleam. Okay. But if they were, say, maybe this distance, then she'd be able to double tap and she'd be able to get off the Dazzling Gleam like that. Okay. This will not stop piercing attacks. So I know Scizor has Scizor's String Shot, which is this. Nope, not that. Command input, begin recording. All right, it won't stop that. So let's do, oh my goodness. Back to command input. All right. Nope, not that. That's close enough. Yep, attacks that have piercing properties are going to pierce right through her Dazzling Gleam, and she's not going to stop that. Let's see. It also won't stop, beam attacks. So stuff like Mewtwo's Hyper Beam and Chandelure's, whatever Chandelure's charged projectile is. It's not going to stop that. Okay. If you do Calm Mind and you jump, she can teleport. Okay. She can teleport in any of the 4 directions in field phase. So she can teleport left, right, forward, and backward. When you teleport, you are airborne. That means you're free to use whatever kind of aerial attacks that you want. That means that you can go into Calm Mind, teleport, and then do Magical Leaf, double jump, and then use, your drop kick if you want. Okay, and you got some options. Okay, that this makes up for her low movement speed. Is that when she's standing in place, she's got a lot of options that she can do, while she's standing in place. The last thing, I think that's it for Calm Mind. The last move, the last of her special moves, is stored power. This is the big one. Stored power. Stored power can be used as an anti-air. Well, that's the thing. Depending on the different versions of stored power. Like this, it has 4 versions. Okay, I'll just show that. So this is the standard version with no calm mind charges. Okay, it's extreme. It's like a point blank attack. Okay, if you're not right up on your opponent, it's not going to hit. All right, you have to be right on top of them for it to hit. If it does hit, it knocks them into the air, and you'll be able to use. Let's do that. Yeah, if you're point blank and knock them up into the air, you'll be able to hit them with her backwards weak attack into a phase switch, or you could just hit them with that and get away. You know, depending on the opponent. Okay. If you have a single calm mind charge, it goes a little further. It does like 2 shots. Okay. So we're going a little closer. All right, 2 shots, same thing, knocks them into the air. All versions of stored power will knock your opponent into the air. The 2 shot does 2 shots, knocks them a little further back and into the air. Okay, so this is uncharged. This is with 1 charge. That's 2 shots. This is 2 charges. And the attack also gets higher the more shots there are. Okay. The last one is the maximum with 3 calm mind charges. And it's actually hard to see in field. That's what it looks like. That's 2 charges. Whoop. This is, what is that? That's her level 3. And this is her level 4 stored power. Okay. About like almost full screen. It's more than mid screen, but it's like a little bit less than full screen, and like that depends on the stage. You know, some stages are small enough that she'll be able to hit them with a fully charged calm mind. You know, from like this distance. Okay, when you do that, knocks them into the air. If you happen to hit them with all four shots of the maximum version of it, 1, 2, 3. It does almost 200 damage to your opponent. Okay, it's a major damage dealing attack. What your game plan is with Gardevoir, personally, what I would say your game plan is to focus on stacking up your burst, because all of Gardevoir's projectiles, all of her weak attacks, all of her special attacks, they all build her synergy meter. Okay, like if you look, her synergy gauge, like all I'm doing is moving side to side with weak attacks, and her synergy gauge is increasing a lot. Okay, just from going side to side. Okay, all of her weak attacks, all of her special attacks will build her synergy gauge. Okay, it's very easy for her to max out her synergy gauge. Focus on, you know, increasing your synergy gauge, and focus on what's the word? Managing your stored powers, okay? Because you're gonna have to use different stored powers at different ranges, and you can, you know, your opponent's not gonna be paying attention to what you're trying to do with stored power as much as you are. Like, your opponent is going to assume that you're gonna do the maximum version of stored power all the time, okay? Which means they're gonna get hit by the level 1, 2, and 3 versions of stored power. Okay, that's the game plan. Stored power and synergy. Okay, if you need synergy and you have them in field, you can hit them with 1 projectile, hit them with another one, and that alone is like 30%. Like, just those 2 attacks alone are like 30% of her synergy gauge, I believe. Like a huge chunk of synergy that she got just from using those 2 attacks. It's so easy to build synergy with Gardevoir. You really want to make sure that you're taking advantage of that. Let's see. That is everything for her field phase, I believe. This is her movement speed. This is her jump distance. She covers a lot of distance, but she's got moon jumps. She jumps extremely high and descends extremely slowly. That's her dash speed, or this is her pursuit attack speed. Okay, these are her dashes. She's got fantastic side dashes. Okay, Her backdash, it's all right. Her backdash, her forward dash are okay, but I think her side dashes are very good. Okay, she really covers a lot of ground very quickly with these side dashes. Okay, next we will go into dual phase, and I will start from here. All right, sorry for the cut. Some time has passed. We are now working on light attacks, weak attacks, light attacks, however you want to say it, in field phase. Okay, I'm sorry, dual phase. Now, well, first, this is her movement speed, her forward movement speed, and this is her back movement speed. You've already seen her jumps, her colossal moon jumps, and these like just her maximum height using her jump and her double jump. This is her low stance. No special properties to her stuff. As for this, I forget if her high stance actually does something, so I'll get back to that whenever I get around to doing her ranked videos. By the way, I have not forgotten about the ranked match videos for Scizor. It's just during the peak hours that a lot of high level players will be online. My internet was not working to satisfaction, so I've been postponing those matches until until they get sorted out. But anyway, weak attacks. She swings her giant oar-shaped or paddle-shaped hands. Okay, so it is a three hits, 3 inputs, 1, 2, 3. All right, so she slaps them and then she backhands them, and then she uses her butt or her hips, whatever you want to use, and she knocks them away. You can chain it into, if you mash it, she goes into that is Psy Shock. Okay, but you can also go into any of her other stuff. You know, any of her other specials, your usual fare. You can cancel her the fourth hit into whatever special you want to cancel it into. Her low stance, her low stance light attack is a slide. Okay, the slide does what slides do, puts her in a low profile, lets her get underneath some projectiles. It's a pretty fast slide. It's got some gut stun, so you know when you hit somebody with it, you know, for a light attack, I should add, for a light attack, because by comparison, Scizor and Sceptile have slide attacks, but their slides are tied to their heavy attacks. Gardevoir's is tied to her light attacks, and she is able to combo out of the slide, provided she lands a hit. Okay, her forward, well, I'll do her back one. Her back one is a zoning tool. Her back weak attack is she fires an arrow. I believe this is a low profile projectile because it aims closer towards the ground. And I've seen some ghost types, or I've seen some characters high stance it and evade it completely. So I do believe that this is a low. Okay, but it's extremely fast. This will secure you some kills quite a bit. If your opponent is trying to walk up to you, you know, and they've got low health, you can really just back up and then fire, and then back up and fire, and then back up and fire again. You know, just space it out as you wish. She has no problem putting damage on her opponent. Her forward light attack is a spin. Okay, it looks like this. This is what it looks like on hit. It does 3 hits. Note that it does have some startup and it does have some cooldown to it. Okay, so this is me using it before I can finally hold my shield after she finishes with the spin. Okay, however, even though it has cooldown, even though it has startup and it has cooldown, if you hit your opponent at all with it, they go into this, you know, really multiple spinning, you know, hurt animation, and it basically you get a free combo every time. If you can hit somebody with it, if you hit them with the first hit or if you hit them with the last hit of it, as long as you hit them with it, you can combo into whatever it is that you want. Okay, so I guess that's the trade-off for having a lot of startup and a lot of cooldown. Her high stance light attack is the same attack that is her back attack, her back light attack in field phase. So in field phase, you can use it a straight shot, and you can also charge it. It'll crush counters if your opponent is trying to counter from the air. It does the exact same thing in dual phase. If you tap it, she fires. If you hold it, she fires out the same amount. They just now have counter crushing properties to them. Okay. Her jumping weak attack is also a very good zoning tool. She does this. She fires a diagonal arrow towards the ground. She has 3 versions of it. She has a close version. She has a close version and a far version. This is the mid-range version. If you don't push down any inputs, this is the close version of it, and this is the far away version of it. All right. So you can use this in conjunction with all of her other stuff. Okay, and do things like that. That is it for all of her light attacks. Let's see. Yep. Yep. Okay. Next is her heavy attacks. Her heavy attacks, just tapping the button, should do this kind of double palmed. Should do like this double palmed attack and pushes out some energy towards the opponent, and she will, knock him back a little bit. You can combo this into her specials. So you can combo that into stored power. You can combo that into every version of stored power. You can combo that into side shot. The other stuff, like the energy ball combos, you'd have to get a stun off first. So yeah, well, for that doesn't work. I think I did it in the wrong order. I think it's energy ball. Yeah, it's energy ball first, and then the mighty push into stored power. But that's what that does. Now I think this is I think that's a Tekken move. I forget who has it, but I know I've seen this move in Tekken somewhere. It's an uppercut. What does this do? That's about it. That's all it does. It's an uppercut. If they're near the wall, you can stick them onto the wall with that, and go into some more combos like that. Let's see. Her low stance heavy is, what is that? Oh, it's the ground spear. She'll throw out a ground spear. The ground spear crushes counters. Okay, it crushes counters. It also crushes it crushes like counter-based burst attacks if your opponent is in synergy burst, and I think it also crushes grab-based burst attacks if they happen to use it when they get hit by the spear. All right. What was that? No, that's the coolest one. That's the coolest one. That's not for the faint of heart. I'll do that one last. This one, her high stance heavy attack. She puts herself in the air, throws out another little energy projectile. This one causes hard knockdowns. Okay, every time it causes hard knockdowns. It's a very useful tool because it comes out fast. It comes out fast and it's got a little bit of a disjoint, so she can use it from like. Yeah, not that range, about this range. She doesn't have to be totally on top of them when she uses it. But that has its uses. The coolest one, which is the one I use a lot, this is her little pirouette. Okay, she has a pirouette or a spin kick. If you tap it, if you short press it, she does a single kick. But if you hold it, she will spin. Unfortunately, well, let me see. I think she has, the tapped one is 500. Yeah, 100, and then 140, and then the third one is like the 180. Okay, yeah, so it's got 3 different damages to it. Yeah, if you short pressing it would do 100 damage. If you charge it a little bit, you'll get 140, and if you fully charge it all the way, you'll get 180. It's got to be super situational if you're actually doing the full set of pirouettes. Okay. But the spin kicks are super fun to do on people that like to press buttons on wake up. So what you do is you do this, and then you, not that, but you spin kick them, and then you time it to kick them again, and then you kick them again, when they get up, because when they get up, if they press buttons, they're going to go right into a spin kick. It crushes grabs, it crushes counters. Okay, I think if they try to jump, I don't think they can jump it if she's too close. Yep, so it's like you might be able to crush a few newer players like that. You can even crush some higher level players if they're just really big on pressing buttons or trying to jump out of the way. They're gonna get smacked with that, and they will have to respect Queen Gardevoir. Let's see what else we got. Back, we did high, we did low, we did forward, we did standing. There's the jumping is the drop kick. We've done that before. That's all it does. You can, you know, go super high, or you can do it out of the double jump if you like. You can also jump and then cross somebody up and then go like that. If you land with it, it's pretty much a guaranteed combo. You know, her trade-off is that her melee moves may be a little bit slow to come out, but if you hit with them at all, you can like confirm into whatever kind of combo you want. It's a lot different from Blastoise, whereas like Blastoise has to either hit them and, you know, commit to it, or hit them and, you know, bounce away. So it's pretty fun with Gardevoir. The last thing is her special attacks. Like I said, a lot of her specials, you know, are shared in field. Standing special is Side Shock. Back special is Calm Mind. Forward special is Stored Power. Jumping special is, oh, that's right, is different. Jumping special is, I think this is, it's not Moonblast. This is Dazzling Gleam. Oh, it's called Magical Leaf in both phases. Okay. So this is the field phase Magical Leaf, and this is the dual phase Magical Leaf. So it's the same thing. It's just it's far cooler in dual phase. In dual phase, she's got 3 different versions of her Magical Leaf. If you just jump and press the button, she goes at a certain angle. If you press the back button, whoop, is that right? The back button? No, not the back button. If you press the down button, if you jump and press the down button and then do it, she will. Is that right? I don't think that's right. Yeah, it's more like if you press numpad notation would be J1A. Okay, A for special attacks, 1 for like the direction that you're holding the stick or the direction that you're pressing the buttons in, and then J means you're jumping. So J1A would aim it towards the ground. JA would be the regular version of it. And then you have J like J6A or J3A. No, not that one. That would be J8A, which would be where she aims it up toward the air. So for this one in the air, this is like if you happen to jump really low to the ground, and if they happen to be above you, like if they happen to be above you and you happen to be, I don't know, like right here, like right here. Real situational, you know, but you'll be able to angle it upward and hit them. It's just she's pretty versatile with her projectiles. Last thing is what? High and low stance. What's high stance? High stance is Future Sight. Yep, high stance is Future Sight. Oh yeah, high stance and low stance are both Future Sight. Oh, and she can direct which way she can aim it too. Future Sight. She presses the button, sends it out, it signals where it's going to explode. It explodes like a few frames later. She can do it close to her, she can do it far from her, and she can do it at a mid-range. Okay, so this is the mid-range for it, this is the close range for it, that's the long range for it. Okay, once again, that's mid-range and that's long range. Okay, she also has low range, she also has low versions of it, which would be her down special. That's down special Future Sight. Near her, it takes longer for the grounded ones to explode than it takes for the aerial ones. So notice the high ones. Takes much slower time. Okay, so she has three different positionings for the low ones. That's near her. That's mid-range. There we go. That's mid-range. And that's long range. Okay? So she got like 6 different directions that she can fire this thing off at, depending on where her opponent is. Okay? Everything else that she has as a special is the same as it is in field. And then she also has her Moonblast that she can use. That's a beam, you know, that has its uses, you know, sometimes. I think that is everything. Is that everything, Gardevoir? I do believe that's it. I believe that's everything. Feels like this guy went by quick. Let's see. Last thing is her, what, burst attack? I've already gone through like her playstyles. Synergy burst, permanent synergy burst. Okay, what differences do we have? In Calm Mind, if she uses Calm Mind, she gets 2 charges. Okay, she does not get 4 charges max, but Calm Mind will give her 2 charges instead of 1. Okay. Also, if you are in dual phase, her jumping Y attacks or her jumping light attacks, she fires 2 of them. Okay, so she can fire 2 of them near her, fire 2 of them really far away from her, or fire 2 of them from the mid range. Okay, you cannot go like low mid or mid far. Okay, you know, once you do the input, it's stuck there. But she fires 2. She fires 2 now. Okay. Aside from that, I think everything else is the same. I think these detonate faster. Nah, those detonate at the same time, at the usual times. Except, you know, everything does more damage. This is her. Oh, her counterattacks. Her counterattacks are the same in Synergy Burst and out of Synergy Burst. She has a grounded counterattack, and she also has an aerial counterattack. Okay, you can cancel the aerial counterattack by pressing the R button as soon as it starts. So you can absorb a hit. You can jump. You can jump, absorb a hit, and then cancel it if you needed to. Okay. And then you can also, like, after you cancel it, you can go into any of her other aerial attacks. Let's see. Next is her grabs. I think she has different grabs. Well, they look different depending on whether she's in Synergy Burst or not. This is her field phase grab. This is her dual phase grab. All right. Note that her dual phase grab does like 120 damage, right? So for a zoner, like for other characters that have projectiles do like 70 damage grabs, but Gardevoir for some reason does 120 in going from dual phase into field. Let's see. In Synergy Burst, her grabs look like. Do her grabs change in Synergy Burst? Well, that's the field phase, and this is the dual phase. Yeah, they do change a little bit, but that's what they look like in field phase and dual phase. This is her Synergy Burst, which is called. Oh gosh, I wish I could do this without going into the whatchamacallit. It's called Fairy Tempest, is what it's called. All right, and it looks like this. Well, I'll talk about it after. Alright, so that's what it looks like. Now, for this move, she uses it and she fires off a projectile. If she misses them up close, she'll still fire out the projectile. This move is only going to work if you do it up close. I think it works at I think it's like instant. Like as soon as she calls it, it'll do it. It'll start. You know, it'll be active. The deal with this is that if she's not on top of her opponent when she throws it out, she can get punished. So for example, and by punished I mean like by her opponents. You know, if her opponent was in Synergy Burst and they had their burst attack, they can punish her out of this. Okay. You didn't do it immediately. Well, that'll be something that we'll show in when I do some ranked matches. But in order for me to actually show it, I would have to miss, which I don't plan on doing. But essentially, if you're not right on top of your opponent when you use it, she'll be open to a counterattack. Okay, so I think you have to be. Stop it. I believe you have to be like. What's the farthest away you can be? Okay, that's fine. You can be that close. How about this? Okay, so no. So you have to be around this distance from them in order to get that burst attack off. If you're like this distance, yeah, you're not going to get the cutscene. All right, that's about all that there is to it. Aside from her looking very, very sophisticated and very pretty, that's about it. That's about all that there is to Gardevoir. I think among the technical characters, she is the easiest to get the hang of. Like I said, you need to manage your sword power, and you need to be well aware of your synergy gauge, because she can rack up synergy gauge very quickly. Okay? That's about it. That's all I have for you guys. I am working on some more Pokkén Tournament videos. I need to spend actually a great deal of time getting enough footage for ranked matches to my liking. So I'll be working on that for Scizor. I'll also be working that for Gardevoir. Future guide videos, I'll tell you what I'm working on. I'm working on Darkrai and I'm working on Croagunk. I can also do Gengar because I know how to play Gengar. I know how to play Machamp, but I wouldn't be ready to do a guide on Machamp yet. But Gengar, I could maybe do a guide on Gengar. But I am working on Croagunk and I am working on Darkrai, so I'll be able to, you know, be proficient enough with them to be able to put out some guides. So you guys can look forward to that. That's about it. That's the Gardevoir guide. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Oh, what beautiful weather.
Maybe you guys will be able to go out there and, you know, change up your play styles with her. I gotta change my name back, so I'll go and I'll change my name back, and after that I will let you guys go. If you guys enjoyed the video, please do leave a like. If you guys continue to enjoy my videos, do me a big favor and consider subscribing to the channel and helping my channel grow. Also, feel free to leave me any comments, any suggestions, and do feel free to check out my other non-Pokkén Tournament related videos if you so choose. That is all I have for you guys. You guys have a good day, and see you later.